Welcome to the Let's Get Vulnerable podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Morgan, and today we have a very special guest, my good friend, the one and only Sabrina Zohar. Welcome to the show.
Hey girl, I'm so excited to be here with you.
This is so fun.
I'm stoked.
I love getting together with you.
Me too. Welcome to LA.
Oh my gosh. It's not Montana. I have to be honest for a second. I literally have gotten 3 parking tickets in being here for like 3 days. Yeah. I'm just not used to it. We don't have these kinds of rules. Okay.
7 signs and you're like, no parking, parking anytime, no parking. You're like, so I can never.
It's so confusing, but I love it. I love being here. It's an energy.
Now we'll get you acclimated.
Yes. So we have so much to talk about. When I was planning this episode, I was asking the audience for questions, and we have some really juicy questions. We're going to get into those. Yay. But I wanted to start with your story. We've had you on before. Go listen to that episode. It was also wonderful. But for somebody who maybe is new to your story, how did you get here? How did you become the dating coach? Like what brought you to this work?
Honestly, I think similar, like you and I have a similar background of like, I was her, right? I was the girl that I would listen to all the clickbait on the internet, and I was doing all the things that everybody was telling me to do, and I was disconnected from myself. I was feeling really sad. I was consistent, like my anxiety was through. My anxiety, fine, I won't self-identify. The anxiety I had was like through the roof. And I was self-aware to the point where like I could see that I was doing things, but then I didn't know what to do with that. And my trajectory was like, I lived in New York for 12 years, ate shit. Like I really struggled in New York as far as like building relationships and feeling like I'm finding myself. I was always trying to figure out who I was through other people. And I moved out to California in 2021 to pursue my clothing line, software, and then I was going to be on Shark Tank in 2022. So like I was banking and I was doing what I think is very dangerous, what a lot of us do, of like when this, then this, and putting everything in. When this happens, I'm going to be saved, and it's going to be everything that I've ever wanted. And I was on set for 12 hours or 10 and a half hours, and then they sent me home. And so I went home, and I was dark. I'll just say that. I went to a really dark place mentally, and I had a guy that I had one date with, and he reached out to me just to see how it was, and he literally talked me off the ledge. We've never spoken again since.
Wow.
Just in serendipitous, he called me, we talked, and we both agreed, like on the call, we felt more of a friendship towards each other, and we didn't really want to pursue it. And after that, I started TikTok, because and then my dog passed away, and that really propelled me 100% into focusing on what I love to do, which is help other people. But I think this really, like my mama always says, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes.
And I think it was that I felt really lost. I felt really disconnected. And I was so tired of like the avoidant or the bad people. And if you have anxious attachment style, there's nothing wrong with you. And it's like, you're right, there isn't anything wrong with you. But we have to evolve the conversation. And that's what I wanted to do, was come on and be able to evolve the conversation and then be able to connect with people where we can actually help other people do that.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And you show up so consistently. I think anybody out there that is looking for a model of like how to really go after what you want, you are such an inspiration in that way.
Thank you.
You have a big passion for what you do. It's very evident. You're one of the real ones. You're the same in person that you are online.
That's always what's weird when I meet people and you're like, the people ask like, oh, is she like that? And they're like, there's nothing different.
Yeah.
It comes from a really authentic place, because I genuinely understand, like, what does it feel like when the guy doesn't text you, or the girl, or the they, right? Like, what does it feel like when this happens? And I think when we hurt in relationships, but we also heal in them. And I think that community and feeling less alone is the way that we're going to be moving forward, because when you share your story and then I go, oh my God, I'm not alone. There's nothing wrong with me. Other people experience this. How else would I know? Right? When I just saw you got here in marriage photos, if I didn't read on your history, I'd go, oh, she has the perfect relationship. And she just got married and she doesn't have any of these issues, without realizing that the work that was involved to get you there is what people don't necessarily see.
Yes. And I love that both you and I are very honest that there's no perfect relationship. Perfect relationships don't exist. Securely attached relationships are not perfect.
Not even close.
Yeah.
I find, to me personally, whenever I think about a securely attached relationship, is I used to think it was, you don't fight, right? There's a coach, I don't know if you've seen her on TikTok. I'm not going to name names. I'll name names. But it's this one coach, and she says, don't kiss anybody for 3 months. 3 months. Don't kiss. Don't do anything. And I was like, well, my first date of fucking my boyfriend's out of the window. And that she promotes 7 years with my partner, no fights. And I was like, wow.
That is the wrong message. That's so harmful to people.
What, and not to mention, what flex is that? You're telling me no fights. Here's the thing. So then somebody's not speaking up. Somebody is not being honest, because even in the moments when me and my partner are very calm and we're still having a disagreement and an argument. It doesn't need to mean that we're screaming and fighting and yelling.
Absolutely.
The reality of a healthy and secure relationship is you're going to get triggered.
Yeah. The couples that I worry about are the ones that are not fighting, because it's just what you said. Somebody is self-abandoning. Somebody's pushing things down. Somebody has a ton of resentment.
Yeah. And like, I think anybody listening to, I think we can use our common sense of like, we don't mean that if it's toxic and somebody's screaming all the time. No one's saying that. But conflict and repair are part of a relationship.
Healthy conflict.
Healthy conflict. If you don't disagree with me, I would think there was something wrong with you.
Right.
That would be creepy to me.
And I don't know about you, see if this lands with you, but part of the healing process was rewiring that conflict does not equal abandonment.
For me, conflict was the most terrifying thing, because when I saw my dad get wild up, like that's my wound, is having the narcissistic father and the people-pleasing mother. And when I would see my dad get upset or anything, that was it. It was like, he were going to hit, you were going to get left. You didn't know when he was going to come back. Like, I landed in the hospital before because of him punching me in the face. So like, that was my child. That was my reality. I saw conflict means disconnection. Conflict means I'm bad. Conflict is a negative. And now what I've realized is like, conflict is a really beautiful way for me to see what we still need to work through. And then I can make a decision from a place of empowerment if we can actually do that. Because conflict for me has brought my relationship closer, not further.
Yes.
The reason it brings you further is when there's no repair.
When there's no repair.
Right?
And when it's not healthy. Yeah.
Because you're not actually fighting about what you think you're fighting about.
Yeah.
It's not about the dishes. And it's not about the fact that like you didn't do this. It's like, do you feel seen, heard, and understood?
Yeah. And you know, what you just shared there, I think is so powerful, of obviously seeing that as a kid, you were going into survival mode. This was a biological response. Were you fight, flight, freeze? Like, what was your coping skill? All of it?
All of it. I was going to say it depended on the circumstance. And that's why I'm actually glad you asked that, because it adds texture and nuance to us as humans, right? We're not just one. You're not just, I have anxiety and that's it. I'm always anxious attachment. It's like, no, I can shut down. I absolutely can. I can shut down. I can stonewall without realizing it. I walked off on Ryan the other day. We had like a big, it was one of those like frustrations for me, and I didn't handle it well. I was just like, fine, fuck it. And I walked upstairs, and like 10 minutes later he came up and he was like, can I share that I felt abandoned just now? And of course I'm sitting in the bed being like a teenager, and I had to stop and be like, hey, that's valid, right? Like, you're not perfect. You don't get to do that to your partner. And I think that's part of the growth, because how was I going to see my blind spots if I'm not triggered to see them?
I love this. And I love that you can talk about repair. That really is the key, because you could have in that moment chosen to take it farther.
Very easy. And that was my baseline. My baseline was scream really loud, because in my childhood was, you're not seen. So it was, okay, do anything you can to be seen, scream loud, get big, and like ADHD. And my brother has like the very classic ADHD, like Ritalin, bouncing off the walls. We were the more like, oh, there's something wrong with your daughter. She's just, and it's like, no, I had ADHD. That's what it was. So for me, it's let me get loud, let me get seen, let me be heard. But then there are times where I freeze and I just don't know what to do. What about you? What's your baseline?
For me, it was a lot of shutting down, but also a lot of emotional dysregulation. And you know, in the past, I know a lot of, you know, kind of feeling like I had to curl up in a ball and pull the covers over. Nobody talk to me. I want to just disappear, you know. And I love, though, the honesty of, hey, when that stuff happens now, you're just more aware of it. You know what you're doing. You can more quickly go, okay, how do I self-soothe? I don't know about you. This was so big for me. Learning how to show up as my emotionally available parent, to self-soothe myself and to stop putting it on my partner to do that work for me. Like no longer outsourcing the emotional regulation.
Taking a pause changed my life. Just a pause. 1 minute. 1 minute literally to sit and be like, oh, I didn't die by not sending that text.
Yes.
I didn't die by not doing this. Taking the pause and learning of, okay, what do I need? What do I genuinely need? Because I've had it, even being in a relationship.
Yes.
Right? You still have that where there are moments where I'm like, you could, like, I'm very aware. I'm like, you could fucking lose your shit on this person.
Yeah.
Or
you could breathe.
I do my like and Ryan knows, like, when you hear loud exhales in the house, you know that someone's trying to regulate. Yes. And that's where then I can at least, because I'm curious if you have the same experience of the same side of the internet. The common and really, really popular misconception is that regulating your nervous system means that your emotions and sadness and feeling go away. And I don't think that people really understand regulating your nervous system just means that you are able to now access a place of choice so that you can decide what you're going to do with these emotions and feelings. It doesn't make them go away. And I think people have that where, well, I went for a walk and I still didn't feel good. That's not what the walk is for. The walk is to bring you back to the present moment so that you're not in your amygdala and your lizard brain, so that you can actually see this clearly.
I'm so glad you're saying this because I want to share this with you.
Please.
I think when I learned how to regulate my nervous system, I started feeling things more deeply.
Right.
You start to realize that, a regulated nervous system actually then gives you the space to feel.
Capacity.
It's not about not having the emotions. The emotions don't go away. It's that, you now you have capacity and you have choices. Just what you said. You get to decide, okay, how do I want to move through this? How do I do it intentionally?
Well, I mean, let's think about it. If we're having this conversation right now and somebody with a knife walked up, would either one of us be able to be like, so what are my choices right now? It's like, no, our number one priority would be, how do I stay safe?
Survival.
That is what we are hardwired for. But the problem is our cell phones are not a tiger. Our cell phones are not a person with a knife. Our cell phones are not trying to attack us. Your partner, these different variables, you're not 6 years old dealing with your parents still. You're dealing with a grown adult that you get to make a decision and a choice. And the other aspect, the other flip side of the coin is the number one thing I see, and I'm curious if you see the same. I'll get two things. Two questions I get all the time. One, it'll be like a dissertation, and then at the end it says, what do I do? And all the time I'm just like, oh, you don't trust yourself. And that's okay. I am here. Got you, baby. But if I hear, what do I do? So you are outsourcing for me to decide what you should do right now.
Yeah.
And the second thing I hear all the time is like, what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? How do I make this go away?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's the reality. You don't, because what you resist persists. And the more you try to fight it, the more it's going to keep coming. So instead, it's like, how can I get curious about it?
Yes.
Like, I'm curious, what was your experience when you first started doing this work for yourself? Your curiosity, like, did it take you to a specific age? Like, what was your first moment of like, I have little kids inside of me? Like, what does that fucking mean?
It's interesting. I mean, I was in a relationship with a narcissist, hit rock bottom, had no self-worth. Mm-hmm. I had no internal connection to myself. Didn't know what I needed, didn't know what I wanted. I think it really started with me learning, I should be tuning into myself more than I'm tuning into other people. Mm-hmm. That was kind of the beginning of like the light bulb going off of, I don't even know who I am. The movie Runaway Bride, where she's like learning how she likes her eggs. I always felt like that was such a good example of kind of how I felt. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know how to take care of myself. Didn't even know what I was feeling. So for me, I feel like it was that rock bottom after getting out of the relationship with the narcissist, looking in the mirror and just having no sense of identity.
Yeah.
And realizing I don't know how to regulate my emotions.
For me, I had a big moment of when I finally just allowed myself to feel. Like after my ex moved out, same thing, the narcissistic the partner that I had, when he left and you're just alone with yourself. Like I remember my mom came to visit. I would just cry over food. Like I was 90 pounds soaking wet. I was a shell of a human. I could not function. And that was the first time I allowed myself to process, not to ruminate, because I would work through things, right? Instead of ruminating and staying stuck on the same thought. Why did he leave me? Why isn't this working? Why doesn't he want to be with me? Instead, it started to evolve to, well, what is this saying about me? What did I feel in this? How did I go through? And really where that was great therapist, of course, like having somebody that really helped bounce that back to me. But outside of that, it was me when I would see my littles being like, hey, it's okay. She's allowed. You're allowed to see her. You can go up and talk. Giving myself permission to say, you know what? So I'm going to cry in my pasta right now. I'm going to cry in my pasta. Instead of shaming and blaming myself. Now that took me 8.5 years for me to get to baseline of that. But repetition, right? If we keep doing something and if we keep diverting. The other day I was sharing this to Ryan. I have to take this new supplement for my cortisol. Yay, so fun when you have body issues. And at night, I'm supposed to take one in the morning and one at night. That'll help me sleep so I don't wake up in this like dysregulation. Yes. I have free cortisol and shit. And I forgot to take it. And so, of course, I woke up in the middle of the night, looked at I'm like, fuck, it's 2 a.m. And in my head, I was like, you didn't take the pill. My first initial reaction was, you're so stupid, right? Started to go of like, man, what an idiot. And I literally stopped myself and I was like, you know what, Sab? you made a mistake and that's totally cool because you're a human. You're going to take it tomorrow and you'll be fine. I don't think this is going to be that detrimental to you. And I literally felt like, huh? And I fell back asleep.
Yes.
Because when I was able to show myself compassion, I was able to close the loop and finally have finality to what I was experiencing and say, oh, yeah, I'll take care of this tomorrow.
I love it. It's such a good example of, wow, when we can show up with compassion, you're rewiring, you're learning how to show up as that emotionally available parent.
Because what's the alternative?
Right.
Like, really, what's the alternative? I think for most of us, the alternative might be outsource.
Yep.
Okay, well, how much are you going to do that? Or the alternative is like, you can ruminate, you can spiral, you could do all of that, but you're making a choice by doing that. It's not, you're not helpless. You're not, I can't control it. Yes, you can, but it's how are you implementing the material that we're giving you?
Exactly. And it's that whole thing that we don't realize is when we are critical, we're just going to make it last longer. The more we beat ourselves up, the meaner we are to ourselves, it gets bigger, it lasts longer. It becomes this thing that now is impacting us in so many ways.
So many ways.
So we just have to feel it to heal it. But so many of us, and I think this is why you need help. Anybody listening is like, oh, I get it. I just have to feel my emotions. It's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
You need to go look at the relational trauma that caused you to learn that you can't feel. We have to have that awareness and really work through that and process it and then let that go and then start to learn how to create safety so that you can feel. And it's hard to do that by yourself. I think it's impossible.
Well, because it's also compounding effects, right? You need, because you didn't hurt yourself by being alone, so it makes you think you're going to be able to heal yourself by being alone.
Yes, exactly.
So it's the same with I'll stay single. I'm so tired of hearing staying single is easier. No, that's avoidance, because you're right. Staying single is easier. It's easier because you're not triggered. You don't have to deal with other people. You don't have to deal with your own shit.
Yes.
And I get it. This is not to say don't ever be single. Of course, everyone has seasons, but what's your why? If your why is because I feel so fulfilled, I have not met anybody that fits into my life, I'm putting myself out there, but I'm not going to force it. Fuck yeah. You stay single until that changes. Versus it's easier. I don't have to deal with it. Well, so then what I hear is like, you don't actually feel like you could trust yourself that no matter what, you'll be okay. Because sure, you can stay alone all fucking day. What are you going to do when you meet somebody?
It's so true.
Right? Intellectualize it. I could talk all day about how to do a deadlift. I could read every physical therapy and everything. But until I pick up the weights and do it, I'm not going to know what it feels like.
It's so true. It's so true. Ugh. And you're missing out on, you talk about this, but the corrective emotional experiences that you have when you are in a relationship, your brain internalizes the healing in a different way when it's happening with another person. And I'm not talking just romantic. This is friendships. I mean, all relationships. When you're in those healthy relationships and you have those new experiences, your brain goes, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. And you can really internalize those new models.
And sometimes it's 100%. And that at first is really foreign. Right? Like that at first for me, when I met people where I was like, I can trust you. I'm like, nah, I can't trust. Because my nervous system was like, don't you dare let them in. So it's going to take a minute, but that's part of it. That's the point of it, of reconfirmation. I bring it back to the gym because it's the only reference I have. When I first started doing it, I was sore. I hated it. I was uncomfortable. I was hurting myself. The more I did it, the more confident I became.
Yes.
And then the more I was showing up differently. And then it became baseline.
Absolutely.
300 repetitions for your body to remember a move, but 3,000 repetitions to create a new neural pathway. Well, let today be 2,999 left to go.
I love it. Beautiful. That's so good. Sabrina, I got to change gears a little bit.
Let's do it.
This might be a little bit emotional. I didn't warn you about this. You and I both have soul dogs that changed our lives. We got to talk about it.
Oh, I'd love to.
Okay. I have a golden doodle who's 12. His name is Sun. He was with me. We have probably lived in about 10 different places together. Yeah. He was with me through all these breakups. He was with me when I was dating the narcissist. Mm-hmm. He was with me when I packed everything I owned and drove to San Diego and started a life there. He's changed my life. Yeah. You have Clem.
I'm your baby. I got chills as you said it.
Can you tell me about your relationship with him and what I see? I'm already gonna cry.
I was about to say, I was like, and can feel it. I'm like, oh no, we're just gonna. Oh, Clem was my soulmate. And I can say that definitively. And I understand how you're feeling, because I got Clem when I was 21 or 22. I think I was like a few months shy. And everybody told me not to do it. And I just went to the shelter and I was like, that's my dog. And has been with me through every bad relationship, every up and down. And he taught me, what does unconditional love look like? What does it look like to be your messiest self, just broken and sad and lonely, and still have someone that still sees you as the most incredible person on the planet?
Yes.
And Clemmy taught me I shouldn't settle, because what am I settling for? Someone needs to love me as much as my dog loved me, as much to think I am the best person for you and no one else would ever have been a better mom. And when Clemmy, I was just supposed to do Shark Tank 2022. And around that time is when people were like, he's looking kind of thin. And I was like, he's always been thin. And the vets told me everything's fine. Everything's fine. I did blood work. Everything's fine. And he collapsed one day and I rushed him in. And they said he has a month left. He's in stage 4 kidney failure. God. And I was like, but I just literally took him 2 months ago. I'm like, you told me I have the email. You said kidneys are perfect. Oh, it was a mistake. Maybe it's a mistake. And 10 days later, he died. And
oh my God.
I promised him I'd make him proud. I promised him. And I met Ryan 3 weeks later. And then I started focusing on my career. And to this day, like, everything I do is for him. Because if I can make him proud, that's what really matters to me. Because he saw me for the version of who I really am. And I feel like I would be doing him a disservice if I don't show other people that too.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Is son still with us?
He is.
Okay.
He's...
Oh, enjoy every...
Yeah, stories like yours, it reminds me to enjoy every day.
Every day.
He's 12. He's slow. He's slowed down a lot.
Great.
But
he's still here.
He's still the guy that wags his tail, gets up every time. It's hard for him to get up, but he still gets up. I'm going to cry. He still gets up every time I come home.
I remember when Clem passed, right before, I'd seen a girl do a video like this. And it was one of those, like, be careful, like, where you spend your time. And it was like Clemmy playing on his bed. And then the day after he passed, it was just empty. There's just a flower pot.
It's so hard. I'm sorry. I should have warned you,
It's
Sabrina.
Okay. It's okay. This is the point of it, though, is that we have to allow ourselves to experience this.
Yes.
What's the point of having love and all of this if we're just going to think that it's going to be around forever? Because I was never, ever going to appreciate it if I didn't understand what it meant to lose it.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I just really appreciate that you have connected your why for what you do and some of your purpose to honoring him and honestly to helping other people have that kind of love in their life, right?
They deserve, everyone deserves nothing less. And like, I'll say this, before Clem passed, I took an entire week off to be with him, obviously, once I figured out, like, this is it.
Yes.
But there were nights where I was like, why did I go out? Why did I go do this? Why did I do that? And it's like, hindsight's 2020. All I can say now is enjoy the moments. Like, enjoy every moment, because it's going to inevitably be gone. And I will tell you this, nothing is going to prep you for it. Nothing anyone ever tells you will get you ready for what that's going to be like. That's part of it.
And I appreciate you being open about it and you talking about the grieving. And I mean, obviously there's still days it hits you really hard. You know, it's one of those things, like, it doesn't just go away. It takes time. It takes time.
Anybody that tells you it goes away is lying to you. Ryan's sister passed away. She took her life 4 years ago. And there will be times where all of a sudden he'll just burst into tears. And or something will happen. I'll say something and you can see he'll shut down. Or, like, you know, we went into the grocery store and he was acting really weird towards me, and, like, we got into a snap, and then it wasn't. Later he admitted that he saw something that reminded him and he shut down. He didn't know what to do with it.
Wow.
Grief is fucking weird.
It is. It comes unexpectedly.
Whether that be a person that passed, whether that be a dog, whether that be a relationship that ended. But this is part of it. If you don't allow yourself to grieve, you will never get out of this.
It's so true. And to find ways to honor that person. I'm so sorry to hear that about Ryan's sister. Yeah, I lost one of my closest friends to suicide in 2020. And it's the same thing of, it just hits me. It hits me.
I don't know.
Unexpectedly.
I'll hear a song and all of a sudden I will break down in tears. Or you even said something, you said Clem's name, and all of a sudden that's okay. And I think it's the same with breakups, right? If we can correlate everything. Yes. When a breakup happens, we seem to think, it's same with death, all of these things. We seem to think that, like, I should be here. I shouldn't do that. Well, yeah, because as a kid, I was taught that this isn't safe. But now as an adult, get fucked. I'm taking up the space. I'm honoring what I had. I don't need to discredit any of it for me to feel better.
Yes.
Take up the space. Allow yourself. But again, what we were talking about, are you ruminating or are you processing?
Yeah, such a good distinction.
Because the one is going to help you move forward. The other is going to keep you where you're at.
Yes. I remember my first securely attached breakup. I went through a secure breakup, and it was the first time I allowed myself to feel. I had 3 to 6 days of crying and journaling and, feeling all the things. But then I felt really good. Whereas in the past, it'd be 6 months, 2 years, 2 years of checking their IG story to see what they're up to and making up all kinds of stories about them and never getting over them. But the secure breakup, I was over it.
And I'm curious, objectively, what was the difference?
I allowed myself to feel.
Thank you.
I was safe enough to feel.
Wasn't anything external. No. It wasn't a podcast that you listened to. It wasn't the book that you read. It wasn't the Instagram reel that you watched. It was you allowing yourself to heal, to process, and then to move on.
Yeah, and to process. I love that distinction. It wasn't ruminating. I was actually processing.
The only reason that's fresh on my head, I just did a solo on it because I was like, we need to talk about the difference.
So go to Sabrina's show.
Go
listen. Go listen.
But it's crucial because even some of the stuff I'll unpack on the show, and I'll notice it. You'll see when ratings are really, people are listening or not. And really, though, it's compounding. It's not just one thing that's going to get you over your ex.
Yeah.
It's just not.
It's not. Yeah.
I wish.
I know. Speaking of getting over your ex.
Let's do it.
We have some questions from the audience.
We have a little cry fest, and then we got some questions.
Cry fest. Oh, and actually, can we do a slight detour? I love this episode. We have so many things we got to cover. And then so we have a slight detour. Then we're going to get to audience questions. Have you watched this season of Love is Blind?
I was hoping you were going to ask that. Sure have. Where are we?
Is it weddings today? Or soon?
Tomorrow.
Oh.
Tomorrw is weddings and Wednesday. Unless it's out on Tuesday. But I thought it was Wednesdays.
No, you're right. It's Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, weddings tomorrow. Who do you think is going to go?
Who's going to get married?
Yeah, who's going to get married?
There's only one. Megan and Jordan.
I was going to say, if anybody, them, but I still can't help but feel that maybe Jordan's going to say that the lives aren't going to align. Because I think he's going to notice that she has every right to want what she wants, and he does. They, to me, do not align.
Yeah,
I could see it. See it. Maybe if they had known each other for 3 years and he was able to acclimate. But I think going from single dad driving a Kia to $2 million home with a woman that has more money than you don't know what to do with.
Let's talk about this. I have a theory on this.
Talk to me.
Okay, Sparkle Meg. Love her, embracing her authentic self.
100%.
Okay. She has associated people who she's compatible with unhealthy relationship dynamics. She's made the false correlation that she can't have somebody that she's compatible with and for it to be secure.
Yeah.
So she's thinking, oh, if I date outside of my compatibility type, then I'll have secure.
Yeah.
She's not realizing. But I love Jordan. I think that's why I'm like, I want them to get married.
I love them to get married.
He's so lovable.
But
they're not as compatible.
No, I also think she's a little delusional. I mean, my father had diabetes. Your kid has diabetes. And it's like, girl.
She's wanting it so bad.
She wants it so bad. And I get that. I see that. But do I think that they're going to run off into the sunset? No, I think they would last a few months. I think that once they're in it and seeing how much she spends, seeing how he lives. I only know that because my partner and I have differences in that way. I have a career that he doesn't. And there are moments where I'm like, okay, if I were making 10 times the money I'm making, if I had Sparkle Megan's money and then you had just I think Jordan makes $85K. That's not bad. Please don't get me wrong. But when she's making almost $1 million a year, that's a big difference. Now, could it work if she really, if he's open to it and being like, sure, you want to treat me? I'm gone. And great. I don't think so. I think he has a lot of pride in who he is and the life that he's built. And I think it's going to be hard for him to be like, yeah, you could just pay for everything.
The only way I see this working, brutally honest discussions about money.
Yeah, brutally.
And contributions to the relationship that are not money.
100%.
If he's stepping up in other ways and contributing, there's that potential, the stay-at-home dad role.
And he needs to. His nervous system also has to work on that. She seems like she's willing to sacrifice, right? She's like, okay, that's cool. I don't need all of this. I don't need somebody that's going to take me on jets and do all that. I can take care of myself. It's him that's going to need to do that work for himself because it's going to be really hard to receive when you've come from nothing. You're like a punk kid that's like, fuck the establishment. I make my own money, and then you have a woman that's worth millions. That's really weird.
It is. It's tough.
It's weird.
It's tough. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think Edmund and KB, I wanted them to work in the pods. I did. After I think she's going to get so tired. I think he's adorable, and I think she's adorable. I think they're going to get real fucking tired of each other.
I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
I think Edmund, potentially, I'm not sure, but I think he's on the spectrum.
Yeah. I was thinking the same. He's sweet as pie.
Yeah.
But even like, and if we can differentiate, like the moment when they had in bed, right? When he was having his little temper tantrum and she was trying to say, he wasn't wrong for what he was saying.
Right.
How he was saying. My mom always says, not the message, it's the delivery. He has every right to go, wait a minute, you won't sleep with your potential husband, but you'll go and say that these dudes can dump loads in you all night and you don't care? That's hypocritical, right? Like, you have every right to say that, like, that doesn't make sense to me. Could you please explain that?
Right.
Versus crying and being like, you won't have sex with me. That's when you're like, dude.
It's the lack of emotional regulation. He's not showing up secure.
No. And I think she's trying to understand it. And I think she has her own shit, right? Everybody does, right?
She got the ick, didn't she?
How could you not?
It's a lot of her getting the ick.
Do you hear what's going on with Joe now and Casey? Is that her name?
I think Casey.
Yeah, Casey.
Joe and Madison.
Joe and Madison.
And then Casey. You're right. I just saw this last night.
His new girlfriend. I'm sorry, he's really cringe to me. His new girlfriend is like a dating coach.
She is.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like she's really trying to use this as like and people are like, why are you flexing that you're dating him? Like, he's not somebody you want to flex on. I thought both of them have their issues, but I thought Madison, after a while, I was like, girl.
Madison, classic anxious attachment that has not been healed.
No. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't looking at Joe being like, what a great guy. I was like, he dismissed her. He was discredited. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't, but I could also understand after a while, like, thank you. When you see the anxious, after a while, you're like, it's enough. Like, come on, dude. You keep complaining about this.
She's not internalizing the reassurance. It's never enough. Yeah.
To be fair, though, I don't think she's making up her anxiety, and that's the thing. Because
wasn't.
He was showing, like, the suit thing. I don't know if you saw what happened. She said that the tux fitting, no one told her he left. She had no idea. Oh. So they went out to dinner with everybody. Everyone knew he left and and she had no idea.
Oh, wow.
So she's sitting here talking about their wedding all the while, and she was like, I felt like a total fool. He had already walked out and she didn't know. So that's where I'm like, girl, that brings me right back. Anxious attachment doesn't mean you're making things up.
Right. It doesn't.
But it means that it's how you handle it. Some stuff you're legitimately making up, right? Like, I've done that where I'm like, they hate me. And it's like, no, they don't. But other things, if you have that anxiety, it's a message.
Yes.
You're not creating it. It is a messenger.
It was painful for me to watch that when they're going through the breakup and he leaves and she's on the floor in a ball. That was me.
That was me. That was my ex. Me screaming on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think when you have anxious attachment, it feels like death. When your relationship ends, I mean, you feel like you're dying because that's what you're wired to believe. I'm being abandoned, you know.
Your brain believes that too.
Yeah.
Your brain's like
painful.
Survival, right?
Yeah.
And then who was there? Patrick and Casey.
Oh, that was tough.
Okay, here's the thing. When I saw her do her little performance, before they had shown that the minute I saw it, I was like, this is performative. This is what is going on. And I'm like, Patrick, you believe this?
He deserved better.
He deserves so much better.
Much better.
Girl, bye. Mm-hmm. And now she wants Joe.
So it is that same Casey. Okay, I'm putting this together. They met after. Very interesting.
And apparently the new girlfriend said that Casey's still trying. That she's still trying to get back with him. I'm like, no, thank you.
Problematic.
Yeah.
I definitely think we also saw in this season substance use.
Yeah.
How that played into distancing. Joe was also drinking to distance. We saw it with Anton.
Jordan.
Yep.
Oh, Anton, I forgot about him. Right, duh, I forgot about them. Anton, at first I wasn't sure. I was like, Allie, what do we... And then when she was like, where was the six-pack? Where was the bottle of alcohol? I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. There's something concerning
There's something going on. The moment I kind of lost trust in Anton was when she asked, where's the tequila bottle? He doesn't tell her truthfully.
No.
You can see the wheels turning.
Yeah.
He gets up, he goes to the fridge. I'm sure in his mind, he's like, shit. I have to think of a lie to tell her. He gets to the fridge, he opens the fridge, and then he says, it's gone.
Oh,
it's like, dude, just be honest.
Totally
be
forgot.
Like, you know what? The tequila bottle is gone. I might have an issue. Like, just own it. Just be honest.
Just be honest. Especially to me, I'm glad that they showed this, but I also see like there's a lot of romanticizing alcohol in our just in our society.
Yes.
That like, oh, it's okay, they just got wasted, and it's like, no, I'm sorry. The way Joe spoke to Madison, not appropriate.
Yes.
The way Jordan was acting, I don't blame Megan for being like, what is this? What are you doing? I'm the same because I don't drink alcohol.
I don't either. Three years sober. Yep.
Yeah, it's not my thing. Anybody else is welcome to do whatever they want. I don't enjoy it. I like to be in control of my body. That's a me thing. I dated a wino. My ex was 2 bottles of wine a night. We lasted like 5 months because it's not. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can't exactly regulate your emotions, have intentional discussions. You can't show up securely attached when you're wasted.
Alcohol does so much more. I just had a doctor on the show to tell me about the amount that alcohol does to your body is exorbitant. Like, this is not just, oh, haha. This causes like how much bodily damage, but anxiety, depression, different things. It fucks with your neurotransmitters. It messes with your hormones. Like, it does everything.
Yes.
Enjoy it, right? I don't care. If you want to go have a drink, please enjoy and be responsible. But this like, haha, like it's wine o'clock. I'm like, there's got to be more to life.
We can't ignore it.
Can't ignore it.
Yeah. Thank you for talking about Love is Blind. We will, there's more to come, I'm sure. Are you going to do a recap on your show?
Probably not, to be honest. This season, nobody seemed to give a shit.
Okay.
It wasn't last year. Last year was.
Yeah.
This year, I've made tons of content. It just falls flat. If you're not.
Interesting.
And I don't want to talk, like Nick and Annie, right? I forgot about her.
Oh, geez. We didn't even get to talk about Annie.
Because being gay is a fad, obviously. So.
Oh, that was so heartbreaking. I just talked about that on my show. That really bothered me.
But that was to me, I was like, and we're done here. But for me, I like looking at that. I'm like, I don't need to talk shit about people.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the only content right now about this show, because I feel like I'm fatigued by it.
It was a lot. This season was a lot. It really.
I'm glad it was real people, though.
I will say that. I was just going to say, I felt like this season was pretty authentic to what a lot of people experience in the dating scene.
Yeah, there was no
which
influencers.
Is sad. We're all sick of it.
But like what I liked about it, there was no one trying to get famous, except Casey, right, with her boyfriend. But like there was no one on there of like, I know that if I do this, I'm going to be an influencer. No, it was, I'm here. I want to see if I want to do it. But I'm with you. It shows the holes in dating.
Yeah.
And here's the biggest hole I see. Be careful what you wish for. Because all fucking day I hear like, I'm ready for a relationship. I'm ready for a relationship. I want that. Are you ready to actually receive that? You're ready for toxic. You know how to deal with that. That's fine. Got that. Good. Clock that. But are you ready for someone that shows up authentically, that says, I'm here to be vulnerable with you. I'm here to see you. No. Because we think we are, but our nervous system might not be. And that's totally fair. It took me years to get there. But going behind a wall, you know what I also have an issue with Love is Blind? Body language.
So true.
There's
we miss out on
no body language. There's no, even like, remember Jordan said it to her. He was like, we were in the pods. It's not real life. There's no triggers. Very minimal. You're not dealing with, are they being rude to a waiter? You're not dealing with what happened when someone cut them off. What happens when you forgot to do something? How do they react? No, now you get to see that. And that's where I find it a little detrimental, is without body language. Like we saw with Benaya, or not Benaya, Nicole in Love is Blind UK. Nicole and Benaya, when she had the other guy, we were friends with them. And Ryan asked, he said, how was it when you finally watched it back? And she was like, watching the body language of him made me realize, holy shit, if I had seen it, I would never have fallen for it.
Very interesting.
Right?
That's a really good point. Not to mention the fantasy stories we create when we don't have all the data and we can't see someone, and we come up with this whole fantasy about who they are. So it's really, really challenging.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll have a little bit of Love is Blind content on the show just because I have to. Yeah. I got to move on. We got to talk about these audience questions.
All right, let's
because
go.
there was so many. So it's going to be a little bit of rapid fire.
Right. I was going to say, fire them off and I'll just.
All right, let's do it. So this is someone, and I think you'll have a good response for this. How do you actually heal and move on after a relationship with a narcissist, especially when you're still hooked on them even months later?
I mean, let's look at the question, right?
Yeah.
The answer's in the question. Right. How do I move on? Your nervous system can't even finish the sentence because you're still hooked on them.
Yes.
So what I hear, trauma bond, I could do this. Intermittent reinforcement. There it is. This person is a drug. They are as a.
Yes.
So what is it? Like, you really want to move on? Like, when I'm curious your experience. When I was moving on from my narcissistic ex that I thought was going to be baby daddy, that I thought was going to be my husband, that I thought was going to be my end all be all, we were going to be the power couple. One, I had to be really clear about the reality of the relationship. I could no longer be like, but I'm the problem and everything's my fault and I'm the one that did everything, because trying to take full ownership and accountability is not your place to do that, and that's why you're not going to move on. What's the narrative in the story that we have created about why this relationship ended? What are you creating about them? How familiar does this person feel? Did you have a narcissistic parent and that's why this feels familiar? Yes. There's a lot of variables of how to actually move on. You want to move on? Got to take the shine off. And that was what my girlfriend said to me. I was pining over my ex. And she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, tell me, what makes him so great? And I didn't have anything.
So good.
And she's like, take the shine off of him. He's not that great. And then I had to see him. When I would do that, I'd be like, no, Sabrina, he didn't make you feel good. That helped keep me away.
You're so right. Narcissists are so good. putting themselves on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And making you feel like you're worth nothing, right?
Let's be realistic. Ryan always says, if you attract narcissists, you are the prey. So let's look at what makes you the prey. No longer allow yourself to be victimized by their bullshit and actually look in and say, am I not setting boundaries? They're love bombing me and I'm taking it. Do I have low self-esteem? I have no problem if all of those are your answers, but be realistic.
Be realistic. I think this is such a good conversation because it's not I don't ever want to say it's someone's fault for how a narcissist shows up. However, let's also acknowledge you have to take ownership for
what you allow.
Yeah. That basically when you have unhealed relational trauma, when you have low self-worth, when you have an insecure attachment style, you are not going to see those red flags.
No, you told me about repetition compulsion when you were on the show.
Yeah.
That's, if it's familiar and it's a pattern and we've been here before, start to trail where you learned it from.
Exactly. So good. Okay. Let's see what else we got on these questions.
Spitfire some.
All right. So, we just talked about this. Why do we keep returning to relationships that hurt us even when we know that they are toxic? How do we finally break the cycle of self-blame?
Okay, so here's the thing. We're not asking the right questions. Why is not the question that we ask.
Yeah.
Reframe that as, one of my friends always taught me, I don't like that I do this. Okay, what don't you like about it? Oh, I don't have boundaries. I don't have this. They don't treat me well. Okay, so then this has nothing to do with them. Because when we why, our brain is trying to intellectualize. Why? Because your brain thinks, if I can fill in the blanks, if I can figure out why, then I don't have to feel pain. It'll make it all go away.
You're right.
That's not how that works.
You're right.
So if you really want to break a cycle, you have to remember you're making a choice.
Yeah.
And that's it. I could sit here all day and be like, I don't know why I get this. There are certain things that are out of our control. For instance, when I post a video on TikTok, I can't control the algorithm. But you know what I can control? How do I show up? What is my hook like? How much research am I doing?
Yes.
There are things I could do.
Right.
And so we have to remember, get rid of the victim mode, because that's not going to help you. That'll perpetuate more. Empower yourself to say, I don't like this treatment. What don't I like about it? Then start to trail that.
Yes. So good. If somebody's listening right now, they feel like they are rock bottom. They've hit that I'm done moment. They've hit that, I'm the common denominator moment, which if that's you, we have so much love and compassion for you. We've both been there.
Been there.
What would you say to that person? What do they start with?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is you make so much sense. You make sense. The reason that you're feeling shitty, the reason you're sad, the reason you're here didn't just come from nowhere. You're not fundamentally flawed. So maybe we can start to say, okay, if I'm at rock bottom, now I get to create what comes back up. And I've always looked at that. When my life was burning down, literally, I could have fucking gripped to the ashes to try to rebuild. But what am I rebuilding? Instead, I could be the phoenix that rises and say, this is the lowest I'll allow myself to go. Beautiful. Now I can go high. Now I can make choices. Now I can be there for myself. And maybe for a second, we can say that if you're at rock bottom, maybe you can find a way to say thank you. Thank you for bringing me here, because now this allows me to choose where I'm going.
That's beautiful. I love that. Gratitude and getting to that point.
Yeah, without it being full cheesy of I have a beautiful life, everything. No, you're allowed to be I'm sad. I'm at rock bottom. I am a shell of a human, but I get to choose where I go next.
Yes. I love that reframe. And I think intentionally choosing what you want to let go of.
Yeah.
As you are rebuilding.
It's a really empowering place to be.
Yeah, it really is. How do you learn to trust after being betrayed in the past?
Okay, so here's the thing with that trust stuff. I'm a New Yorker. I don't need you to trust people. I need trust to be conditional. I give you a little. I see what you do with it. I give you more. I see what you do with it, and I give you more. Yes. So my whole thing is, there's two ways to see it. When I hear people and I'm not saying this person, but when I hear of I don't trust people. I struggle to trust people. It's then you probably shouldn't date until you start to learn to trust yourself, because that is a trauma response. By telling other people what you're saying is, I'm going to keep you at arm's length. You have to prove it to me. No. We've all been hurt. I have been betrayed more times than I can count. Friends, family, even my own fucking family has done that to me. But that doesn't make me callous and go, I never trust anybody. What I say is, what did I miss? What do I need to be more astute to? How can I trust my inner voice? You're right. I don't trust you, but I trust me.
Yes.
That's what I want us to get to. Let them prove that you can trust them by their words and actions aligning, by you having data. That's why we say, go slow in dating. Don't rush into it. Allow yourself to see the nuance and texture if this person is bullshitting you or not.
Absolutely.
They're not going to last for that long.
Yeah, this is such a beautiful point. Not enough people get this, so please hear us when we say you have to be able to trust yourself, because if you're not trusting yourself and you don't have that inner connection to yourself, of course you don't trust people.
Why would you?
Because you're missing the flags, you're making bad relationship decisions, you're having a lot of pain, you're repeating patterns. Of course you don't trust people because you don't trust yourself. You don't have the ability to set boundaries. You don't have the ability to ask for what you need. So it really does start with you.
Yeah. That's why it's like, you're right. I don't need you to go in and trust, because I would say, oh, if I don't trust people, how can I get into a relationship? Well, then take your time to do that. Allow your nervous system to have reconfirmation experiences. Allow yourself to go, that's not my dad. That's not my mom. That's not my ex. This is a new person, and I'm going to allow them to show me who they are.
Yes.
And then I'll believe it.
You know this. I always talk about gathering the data.
Gathering the data.
Gather the data. Put the lab coat on. You're the love scientist.
Yeah.
So many of us just let our emotional brain run the show when we're dating.
Well, think about it this way. Like if I'm sitting outside of a house and you walk by and say it's a really pretty, do I show you the keys? Do I just give you my No. Right? And it's the same with like if somebody walked by and went, you know what? You should change the wall colors here. This is hideous. I'm sorry, do you live here? No.
Right.
Then what the fuck are you doing telling me what my house needs to look like? So that's where I'd say, because otherwise, if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. So if we don't stand for ourselves and say, you know, because even my clients would be like, oh, I'm scared. Okay, what are you scared of? Oh, if I say something, I'm going to be alone. I'm like, but aren't you?
Yeah.
Or we're here, aren't we? You don't have this person. You don't feel. So you'll cry now or you'll cry later. You get to choose.
Exactly. You got to let people earn your emotional investment, earn your trust.
Like anything else. I could go and make a video right now, but I might not get a follower. I have to earn that. I have to earn the trust to go, oh, she didn't just give me bullshit. Please use that in dating.
I love that. It's so good. It's so good. You have a beautiful relationship that you're open about, but I love you also have boundaries, which I totally get. I'm the same way. Well, you share more than I do. I love it. You're brave. But you guys, you have created a secure connection. I've had the privilege of meeting Ryan in person. What is it like to allow yourself to receive secure love and relax into a healthy relationship?
Oh, it's really weird. It's really, at first I was so uncomfortable.
I love you said that.
It was,
we gotta just be honest.
It was, I could sit here and be like, oh my God. It was like, it was not a fairy tale. This was not a movie. It was me going, why doesn't this feel safe? Oh, because there's nothing wrong. Oh, this was me.
Yeah.
And also, like, I'll be 100% candid. Ryan and I have had many conversations where we're like, are we growing together? Right? Like, are we? And we've had times where I'm like, I don't know that we are. Can we move past this? Thus, up to this point, we have. But I think the reason what makes the relationship so healthy is that whether it works out or not, I don't care. I'm not here because it has to work out. I'm not here because he has to be the one. I don't believe in that.
Right.
But I'm saying for now it's working. And should it not, I will make a choice for myself to move forward. That's why I'm not scared of telling him when he upsets me. I'm not scared of bringing something to him because I know if I don't do that, I'm only self-abandoning. I am so much more worried about losing myself than I am losing him.
It's beautiful. It's secure attachment.
I wish all of us had been taught that. I wish more than anything. But that doesn't mean you can't learn it.
This goes back to my closing question for you, okay? I know we could talk forever.
We're good.
I want to know, this is a little bit deep, but if you could have a dream for humanity, for all people, what would you want for people?
I think if I had a dream for all humanity, one thing I would want, my brain's going in like 7 different ways, and I'm like, okay, make sense of it. I think what's coming to mind first is I wish that everybody could understand where they learned this stuff from and realize that there was nothing ever wrong with them. Because I think that's the crux of a lot of shit, right? We see violence because people are angry, because people haven't processed stuff, because people haven't sat with themselves. And I wish more than anything that we could all understand that there's nothing wrong with anybody. You're not broken. There's nothing to fix. You just kind of need to heal through some stuff, because maybe if people felt accepted instead of exiled, if people felt like we want you here, right? Like if every person doesn't individually have their own light, it's going to get really dark. And we don't just want one casting a shadow. We want everybody to lead. And I wish the world could fucking understand. If you can just understand where you learned this from and be there for yourself, we could all actually make changes. And I think everyone deserves to know that there's never been anything wrong with you. You just taught some shit when you were a kid.
I love this so much. That collective healing, that self-acceptance, knowing that you're enough. You've always been enough.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
How can people connect with you? We're going to put everything in the show notes, obviously, but tell everybody all the ways.
All the ways. So you can come to the podcast, The Sabrina Zohar Show, and you can watch me talk to a camera for 30 minutes. On Instagram, The Sabrina Zohar Show, or Sabrina.Zohar, TikTok, YouTube, all the fun channels with my name. You'll find me. And yeah, just please, it's a community where everyone's welcomed, but I'll be honest, it's not my job to keep everyone there. And so I let everybody make a choice for themselves, and we would love to have you. But if it doesn't work for you, that's okay too. I'm
secure.
I'm
secure
no
approach.
longer. I am no longer trying to keep people, because if I try to constantly change who I am to keep people, I've lost myself.
It's the authentic, secure approach. I love that. Amazing. Well, I adore you. Thank you for sharing your light, for all the ways that you show up for people. You're making a difference by sharing your story, by providing education. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for all that you do. We could just go back and forth and keep thanking each other.
Yes. All right, everybody. Sabrina and I are both wishing you high self-worth and great relationships. We'll talk to you soon.